Hi everybody, welcome back to Spruverse, my scale model universe, people of Earth. Welcome to part 12/1 of Build the 1350 Refit from Polar Lights. What is going on? Have you just tuned into Groundhog Day? Or is there something strange happening over here at the Spruverse studio? Well, the truth is, no, it's not Groundhog Day, but you definitely have tuned into a very strange episode. Now, if you recall, and you've been following my journey, you will know that when I presented the final model, supposedly the final model on its stand to you, that stand snapped. Now, it can happen, right? It's a design that I'm not a fan of, but I went with it. I had committed to it, and I was too far down the road to come back. So, unfortunately, I ended up with a problem. Now, I have fixed that problem, and I do appear to have a stronger connection point for this plug system. However, I don't like it. It bugged me. And as I was sitting here thinking about all of the various things I could have done, I started having these very weird kind of reflective moments in which I was saying to myself, you know what, Phil? You remember when you were doing the Arboretum and you were having that problem and you looked and you weren't quite perfectly level? I wish you could have fixed that. Do you remember when you wanted to put more light in the Arboretum and you didn't? I wish I could have fixed that. Do you remember when I was concerned about the light getting actually into the rec deck? I didn't fix it. Do you remember when, and the list went on and on and on. So I sat down one night and I made a list of all the things I would do differently if I built another one of these kits. You know where this is going, don't you? Oh yeah, I'm going to start again. Now, before all of you roll your eyes and go, you're crazy, we can't sit through another 12 versions of this, you won't have to. I'm not going to make this a full-time gig on the channel. I am going to be reporting in, and I did want to make this special announcement because I'm starting again, guys. I am going back to the beginning, and I am going to rebuild this. But this time, I feel like I can do better. There's a myriad of examples in my head. Like, I literally know the part list to this kit inside and out. I've got some wonderful literature that I've been studying about this class of ship and where everything goes and what things are actually called. And I just thought, you know what, since I kept saying from the very beginning that this is supposed to be the jewel in the crown of my collection, I want it to be the jewel in the crown of my collection. And since I'm not under any, I don't need to get this done tomorrow. So this is probably going to be a 6 month to a year sort of build for me in the background. I'm going to be doing other things, but I desperately wanted to, in my mind, I wanted to do it again. And a big part of, obviously, this whole decision was the lighting kit. Now, Trek Modeler makes a wonderful plug-and-play lighting kit. Do not get me wrong. But I had difficulty getting all that ribbon circuitry into the secondary hull. I just did. And I was grateful that my dear friend Lou Del Mesa was here from the Aztec Dummy for the week, teaching us how to Aztec these things. So I know how to do that now. But while he was here, there was a couple of things that really bummed me out. For instance, the sound module fried on my plug-and-play system. I don't know why. It just did. Did I complain about it? No, because it could have been operator error. I plugged in what I thought was a 3.5 millimeter jack to a couple of small speakers, and it just started smoking. I don't know whether I shorted something. I don't know. But I'm going to chalk it up to operator error, and I just moved on. but it just kept going on and on and on, you know, and I just felt like, oh God, if only I could. And of course I can, right? Start again. So that started with the lighting kit. Now I have shifted gears. I've gone to Ralph over at Tenor Controls, and I have picked up the brand new Bluetooth version of this lighting kit. And it comes on a board that's very impressive. Look at this board. Now I'm going to be very careful with it because I've got it all plugged in to show you something. But this board is really super impressive. And it does absolutely everything you want it to do. Everything. It has so much versatility on it that you just literally, you can't go wrong. So I mean, I couldn't be happier with it. So I've got my handy dandy instructions here, and I started going through them. And as I was going through them, I realized, you know what, I can start testing things. And I thought, what a great thing to do on the channel. So and it's Bluetooth, so it's hooked up to an app on my phone now. Check this out. This is like ridiculous. So here's the app. This is what the app looks like. Oh, hang on here. Let me get you a little closer. Sorry about that. 1 second here. And I'm going to get us all a little closer. Let's see here. Let's go to that screen here, and let's push in. Bingo. Okay. That gives you a really nice look at that board, how clean that board is. But I also wanted to show you this on my phone. Look at this. And it's connected. It connected right away. I didn't have to do anything to connect it. And I've got all the interior lighting. I've got intelligent light, weapons, audio, and demo mode. Now what that all means is unlike that little remote that you get with the Trek modeler kit, the diversity here is ridiculous. You can turn any section of the ship on and off as you want. So you don't have to go through the startup mode, and then you got this, and you got it's just a little mechanical. This has got so much diversity, it's insane. Now, having said that, it's a lot of work because you have got to put every single light together yourself. Now, fortunately, I know where everything goes now, so that isn't a head scratcher for me. Getting it all cabled down to the board is not going to be a head scratcher, but what you start to realize is that you're going to have at least 15 to 20 leads coming through that post. And that post has to be wide enough to get those leads through. But this board is going to be in the base where it can be removed, changed. If there's any problem, there is no logic board in the ship at all. It is all in the base. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And so what I wanted to do was I just wanted to show you this thing because it's just absolutely a blast. Now, I got a couple of speakers from Logitech. These were refurbished on Amazon. I got them for 25 bucks. Let me tell you what these are. In case you are interested. They are, let's see here. Okay, so it is called the Z130s from Logitech. Okay, now they've got their own their built-in speaker system, so you don't have to do anything. But I wanted you. I'm going to put these speakers towards the mic so you can hear this. Now I don't have these. I don't have this cranked up, but I wanted to share this with you. Now I'm gonna jump around here because I don't want to get into trouble with the the good folks over at the licensing board of YouTube. So I'm gonna just jump around here a little bit, but check this out. So this is clip 1, okay? This is clip 1. Here comes clip 2.
Prepare to attack. All hands battle stations.
Here's 3.
Bridge to engineering. Begin full braking power.
Here's 4.
Pulling away from the sun weakened them, sir.
Here's 4.
They
I love this one. Here's 5. Wow. That's obviously a photon torpedo, or it could be a laser. I don't know. Oh, I think there's your photon torpedo right there. And you just keep playing it if you want to. Here's clip 7.
Space, the final frontier.
Here's 8.
Space, the final frontier.
Don't you love that one? Here's 9. And here's 10.
Bridge to engineering.
Sorry about that. I haven't learned how to turn them off yet. There's not a stop button. It has to go through the entire clip. But there you go. That's your sound module. How long did that take me to fire up? I kid you not, less than 30 seconds. All I had to do was power up the board, plug my jack in, turn on my speakers, connect my Bluetooth system, and I was off to the races. Come on! So I just got like super inspired by that. So we went through all the myriad of different things that I used, you know. The great Lou Dalmaso's masks. So I have 2 additional sets of that. I know you're just laughing at me, but that's okay. Laugh with me. Stay with me. Because I promise you, this is going to be worth it. I'll tell you why. Because when I show you my updates, I'm just going to show you, look how much better we did. And we can compare and contrast what I've done. Anyway, all my photo etch, I've got some Shapeway things. So anyway, it's going to be fun. This is going to be fun for me. And I'm going to feel good about the fact that now I've learned how to do this, and I made all those mistakes. Now I'm just going to get better and better and better at it. And, you know, who knows where this will go. Because a kit that at first scared the bejesus out of me, now I'm sort of excited about. So that's going to be a great thing. Now there was one other thing I wanted to share with you. Let me turn my speakers off and let me power down my board. Let me do that because I don't want to short anything and I want to be very super careful about what I'm doing here. But yeah, look at this board. Let's just take a quick look at this before we move on. Look at this. This is absolutely, I mean, it's just beautiful, and it's got these feet, so it'll have plenty of air circulation around it, and we're going to do really well. So that is the board. It does come with very detailed instructions. If you have never done anything like this before, it's going to be tricky. But for someone like me, even though I'm a novice, I have enough experience to be able to understand and read these instructions now, which are really clear. I mean, they're really clear. He's done a terrific job with that. So let me just put my speakers over here for a second. Let me unplug myself. Because the thing of it is to also, you know, one of the issues, of course, is going to be, you know, the reality check of, okay, well, you know, how are you going to set this up? But, you know, this is not for the faint of heart. Like, for instance, Mrs. World of Wayne is not going to let this set up over the TV. That I can promise you. Not going to have it. But I haven't discussed this with Mrs. Spruverse yet, so she doesn't know about the insanity of this. So that's going to be a separate meeting, discussion, negotiations. You know, where's my real estate? I don't know. But what I do know is we're taking off. Now, one other thing I wanted to share with you on this update is, of course, the stand, because we need to figure this out, right? So what I've learned is, in watching a whole bunch of these videos, is this is where you drill. You know, this is where you come in and you drill for the post, right? If you want to put the post, if you want to put the post here that they recommend, the larger post. And I've seen a lot of guys put the post here, and in fact they they lose this light and they put it right here. And of course, the other way to do this is the way the actual the actual model wants you to do it, and they want you to use this piece, and they've got this already set up for you. Now I've put one of these together, and I have epoxied in this piece, and that would connect to this brass rod right here, and it's solid, right? So when you go to put this into your base, whatever your base is, that becomes your center of gravity. Now, it is your center of gravity on the actual model, so somebody thought about this, right? Now, if I was going to do that Trek Modeler ribbon version, there is no way you could use this system, because you have just got you've got to plug and play into you've got that one point of contact, which does allow you to lift the ship off and lift it back. But trust me when I tell you, for me personally, I've seen too many of these just not correct angle. They're a little weak. I've seen guys who have even added two points of contact, so they have two posts, which is clearly a more stable way to do this. So people have thought about this, and I'm starting to think about it too, and I believe that this is the best way to do it. Now, having said that, what it's going to require, of course, is when you connect these two pieces together, your point of contact for the whole ship is this piece, right? So when you set this up, in other words, what I'm saying to you is all you've got here is that lip holding the whole ship together. That's a tremendous amount of weight. Now, even though this is going to be obviously a complete cylinder, and this will all be epoxied in, so this will be rock solid, it's not going anywhere, that is something to seriously think about, because that's an awful lot to ask of this ship. But I do think it's the better way to go. Having said that, I am also considering getting a larger brass pipe, threaded. Okay, obviously not as long as this, but threaded, and then putting it here, in here, with a nut, a locking plate, and then epoxying that in. Now, that to me is a lot more stable. It's a lot more stable. Now, it is not the center of gravity on this ship, but I think it should work. I think it should be okay. I don't see any reason why it won't. But I will, when I come to my final conclusion, because I'm going to need to go shopping and figure it out, or maybe even pick up a tap and die kit. I don't know. But I'm going to make a final determination about just exactly where this pipage is going to sit, and then we're going to drop it into a base. And I think I should be in a lot better shape. The other advantage this system is going to give me, obviously, is it's going to allow me to put a lot more light in this kit, especially over the bay. Now, getting that bay in here it's a whole system, as some of you know who have built this kit. The question is when you look down it, how much value do you get? You can't see all the way inside very well. So there is a solution to that, and I found a shorter bay that allows me to actually, not only put in my landing lights, but it also will allow me to have, I think, a lot more room in here for extra light. So I'm kind of taking that very seriously. The other thing that I've been working with, believe it or not, is I've been working with chemistry slides for microscopes. Now, I can't take credit for this. I picked it up from Simon Merckx, Papa Smurf, over at the Kit Factory. Picked it up watching his channel. And he's been using glass slides in the Arboretum and other places for a long, long time. And he says that you get a crystal clear look. And you know what? He's right. You do. Now, last time I used those acrylic pieces, and you can absolutely use those. They do need to be ground down and sanded, and it is an awful lot of work. But what I found is with these microscope slides, they do cut very easily with a really good cutter. They snap beautifully, and they do sit in here beautifully. I've tried it. It works. And so I'm probably going to be going with microscope slides here. The crystal clear glass is going to be amazing. Now, getting that photo etch to sit against it is going to be a bit of a challenge. But I found a way to do it. And that is, I know this sounds crazy, but you've got just under 0.5 of a millimeter to play with. So you can actually double the thickness of that photo etch, which gives you more depth. And it gives that glass some place to sit against, because otherwise it does sit a little proud of it. But I think it's a great way to go. Now, another friend of mine, Murray, down under, Murray tells me that you can actually put a slight bend in this glass if you heat it, just a little bend. Now, I've not tried that yet. I might try it. If I have success with it, I will report back to you. I know this sounds crazy, but hey, why not, right? Why not? Because if you're going to go to the trouble of building a beautiful arboretum and putting in your rec deck and putting in your officer's lounge, you kind of want to see inside. And one of the things that I did learn on my first build was cleanliness is next to godliness. It's not just about masking everything, because you can't leave those masks on too long. And anytime you're around the area spraying and dirt and everything else and blowing everything, they start to muck up. So keeping everything clean is a bit of a challenge, but we're going to constantly be thinking about that. The other thing I learned building these kits is don't freak out so much about the windows. It's actually okay to put your windows in. It's actually okay. Put them in. And then, clean them up with a little acetone on a cotton bud. And of course you're going to get crazing, but you get great diffusion from the crazing, and we don't want to look through the bloody windows anyway. So all of that stress about keeping the windows clean, what that's really about is making sure that when you are spraying around your windows, that they don't gum up so much that when you go to clean them back, you don't get crisp circles. Because that was one of the other things that bugged me about my first build, is not having crisp circles. One other thing I will mention is, this is also going to sound ludicrous, and I'll apologize in advance, but it's true. I have now gone through 6 of these kits. 6. I've opened 6 of them up. And I'm here to tell you, the molds suck. The dish has really bad issues around the AB deck in terms of cleaning up the windows. Some of them you got to be real careful that they don't get too large. And so what I've learned is get those windows in and then clean them up. And you will get what putting the window in does is it helps you see where you need to fill in and clean up, because you're going to have to sand those back. That's just the nature of the beast, and there's nothing you can do about it. But there are fit issues all over the place here, and we've talked about a lot of them in the first build. So that I think is going to be, believe it or not, a great reference for me as well, because I know that removing some of the locator pins on this thing it's going to be worth it. Okay, I have gone on long enough, but I wanted to share with you an update on my base and what happened when I decided to start again. So this is part 12/1 of Build the 1350. My next update, it's not going to be next week. There's not going to be a continuance of this. You know, they're not going to be in sequence, and I apologize about that. But obviously, you'll know if you're a subscriber and you have the bell clicked. You'll know, you'll get notifications, and I'll let people know on Instagram as well if I'm posting another 1350 update of part 2, the second kit. But I feel more confident about what I'm doing, and I'm kind of excited about it. So that's it. That's my update for this, the second go around of building this 1350, and I have to tell you, I'm pumped. So I hope you cheer me on, because I'm excited about sharing with you some of my updates and knowing that I'm going to be presenting something that's a lot crisper, a lot better, and makes a lot more sense. And it'll be on a base that works with sound and all. So there you go. Thank you for coming on this journey with me again. I hope you stick around. Let me know what you think about this endeavor. Drop me a line. I'm Spruverse@gmail. Follow me in the weeds, obviously, on Instagram, where I will post my in the weeds updates on this endeavor. And as always, I wish all of you, please be safe, be well. Come on, build something, and I'll see you next time. Hey, take care, everybody.